Hey guys, this week's project is taking a dive into the One Piece world again. A deep dive that is, because the character I've chosen is a personal favourite of mine and not one of the Straw Hats. Well, not directly anyway. So seal all the hatches and prepare to dive into the creation of Bepo, second in command and navigator of the Heart Pirates. Oh right, and he's a polar bear. Slight spoiler, but seriously, he's actually a mink. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm always on the hunt for new yarn and I've recently come across this one. It's the Reborn yarn, which is essentially a recycled cotton yarn. I bought them in the Bepo approved colours of orange, white and brown. It's a good thing he has a simple colour palette, but don't think for a second that stopped me from getting all the other colours I saw. Anyway, I will of course list all the materials I used in the description box below as well. For Bepo, I chose not to make his shoes separately. Instead, I began by making the shoes, but then carried on crocheting up to form the legs. I began the shoes using the brown yarn and then changed colour to the orange to make a start on the jumpsuit. I then cut out some 2mm corkboard and glued that to the bottom of the shoes to create a thin sole. Okay, I just need to add a slight caveat here. If you are going to use the corkboard for the sole, please do this at the end of the project. Don't be me. Because corkboard tends to flake randomly and because I was still working with the project, I didn't necessarily seal it off. So if you're going to use corkboard, seal it off at the end and make this the last thing you do. I of course made 2 feet to make sure that they were all done and complete. And then I also surface crocheted around the top of the shoes where the colour change occurs, just to make the shoe stand out a little more and create a visibly distinct line. Carrying on with the orange yarn, I joined the 2 legs together. I made his legs a bit bigger than I normally would, since he is in fact a polar bear, and despite being anthropomorphized, I felt he still needed a significantly sturdier frame. I continued on crocheting up the torso, and since there were no colour changes here, it was just a matter of carrying on until I was nearly at the shoulders and reached the row where I needed to add the arms. I made the arms off camera and wrapped some batting around the armature wire. You've seen me do this plenty of times in previous videos by now. However, I did go ahead and surface crochet some details around his cuffs. It's way easier to do this before the arms are actually attached to the body, but after that I used the magic of editing, actually it's still crochet, to attach the arms. I also mirrored the cuff detailing onto his shoulders as well. From here on, I just needed to switch colours to the white and crochet his head. However, before I finished the head, I briefly returned to the neck and crocheted a collar, adding the same surface crochet detailing as the cuffs and shoulders, and added a fake button onto it as well. Right at this point, I finished off the head off camera and then added his eyes and nose before closing up. He looks so cute so far. Oh, and by the way, I did think I was filming embroidering his eyebrows, but I forgot to turn my camera on. No! But anyway, there's still more to do. Let's crack on. Almost there, guys. Although I had the majority of the details of the jumpsuit done, I still needed to add the zip part at the front as well as the belt hoops. For the zipper, I just crocheted a long enough chain and then did single crochet stitches back down the chain to get a small length of just one row of stitches. I then sewed this down the front of the jumpsuit to create the illusion that the jumpsuit is actually functional but isn't. Well, if us ladies can live with false pockets, this gent can cope with a fake zip. I'm not salty. But anyway, I also sewed in the belt loops with the orange yarn just below his midsection, which was simple yet extremely effective. For the proper polar bear look, Bepo still needs his ears, so I crocheted some cute round ears and added a brown circle for the inner part of each of them. I sewed these pieces together and positioned them on the head in a spot I was happy with, and then finally sewing them into place. With those in place, I attempted to embroider his mouth. I took a while to do this since I was torn between his various expressions. I had to sketch some of them out in the end and settled on, drumroll please, angry Bepo. It just looks right, but he's so angry. To finish off the jumpsuit, I needed to add the Heart Pirates Jolly Roger on the front and back. The front logo is smaller and the back one obviously is larger. So for this case, I did the larger one on camera so that you can see it. I crocheted a small circle in yellow, then surface crocheted the eyes and mouth. With that done, I will be attaching the disc to the jumpsuit and embroider the outline and the little spokes. Or are they spines? They could be nails? What makes sense for a set of medical pirates? Needles maybe? Anyway, well, it turned out okay, so I repeated the process for the smaller one and you will see the results at the end. But they turned out pretty well. Not bad if I say so myself, but then again I'm biased. So while you watch me speed through this final embroidery and before we get to the reveal, I'd just like to say thank you for watching, and of course if you'd like to see more then please like, share, comment and even consider subscribing. If you are feeling generous then also please consider buying me a cup of coffee on Ko-fi. The link to my Ko-fi page will be included in the description box below, and any and all donations will be greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to hit that bell button to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that, enjoy the beauty shots and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!